Hey y'all. So I was just thinking, like, well, I'm not even gonna say sometimes. A lot of the times, we break our own hearts by trying to stay in things that we know are not good for us, trying to change people we know that we can't change, trying to be a good woman or a good man or a good husband or a good wife to people who aren't even thinking about being a good person to you. We break our own hearts, and I'm realizing, like, it takes a lot of maturity and accountability to say that no, it's me. I am the person who is making myself miserable. I am the person who is not helping myself progress. Like, I am the reason why I am miserable. I am the reason why I am lonely or single or in a bad relationship. I am that reason. And it's hard and it's difficult because yes, you probably have experienced some things in your relationship or in your life that has made you this person. Or say, for instance, if you're in a relationship, you are trying to get this person to be the person who you want them to be, and they're not doing what you want them to do. And so now you're miserable in a relationship, but you don't want to let the relationship go because you want to be with that person. And at some point, which is what I had to do, at some point I had to say, it's not up to him to change who he is. It's up to me. It's up to me to accept the fact that he will never be the person that I need him to be for me. And I had to accept the fact that I was making myself miserable. I had to accept the fact that I can't change him. I had to accept the fact that if I wanted to be happy, then I had to let him go. And so even with, like, even if you, like, keep going through cycles of women or going through cycles of men, and you're really trying to find someone, you have to come to an understanding that it's probably not the people, it's probably you. And I say it all the time, and the reason I say this is because I have been through it. I experienced it, and I understand that I can't change anybody into who I want them to. I, either one, have to accept the fact of who they are, not who I think they are, or who I want them to be, or the potential that they may have. I have to accept them for who they are, and deal with that, and try to be happy with that person, or I have to leave and find someone who is that person that I'm looking for. And a lot of times we are our own issue. We stand in our own way because we're trying to hold on to shit that we don't even need to be holding on to. Or we have some trauma that we have not gotten over, which causes us to do things in our relationships that push people away. And until you come to face with yourself and your traumas and your triggers, and until you accept the fact that it's you and not them, you're going to always be in a miserable state. You're going to always filter in and out of relationships. You're going to always be single one moment, in a relationship the next one, but then single again because you haven't dealt with the issues that you needed to deal with in order for you to sustain a healthy relationship. So I realized that in my relationship that I was the problem. And that was my first step to making the correction. Because someone asked me, well, how did you get out of this relationship that you were in, and how did you start your self-awareness and self-love journey? Like, what sparked that? And it really was, is this the life I want to live? If it's not the life you want to live, only you have the power to change your circumstances. You can't depend on that person who you're trying to change or convince them of who you are and what you want. You can't do that. It's never going to work. You have to accept accountability that I want something different. And if you want something different, you have to do things differently. And that probably will mean you can't be in a relationship with that person, or you can't be friends with that person, or you can't do the things that you once did if you want something different out of your life. And we hold ourselves back because we are comfortable. We're in a comfortable relationship. We've been in this relationship for however many years. We're comfortable in this environment because you lived in Chicago all your life. You're comfortable in this job that you've been working all this time, but you're miserable. Comfortable and miserable. That is not